Hello there, Terry. Terry from terrymlee.com here, talking a little bit today about a question I answered in the Kajabi users group about using third party apps. But first, before I get started, if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and click the little bell, ring the bell, as they say, to get notified when there's a new video or me going live so you don't miss out on anything. So, in any event, I thought I would share with you what I wrote in this really long post in the Kajabi users group about why I was using, let's say, ActiveCampaign for my emails and Thrivecart for shopping cart. And in fact, as of this very moment, as of recording, I haven't moved everything out of Kajabi's checkout to Thrivecart, but that's underway. So the question was posed like, what third party apps were people using and why? And so I chimed in the group to say that I was using, ActiveCampaign for my emails and was looking at Thrivecart for my checkout cart. And so the person then, basically like, why ActiveCampaign? And so the semi-short version of it was, there were just some advanced features that I was looking for that Kajabi as of this moment didn't have. And that doesn't mean that Kajabi isn't a good solution. It's just recognizing that when you're starting out, and I recommend this for all my clients, is that when you're starting out, if unless you have some other third party thing that you really like, to use all that Kajabi has. A lot of people have never done any email marketing, so they don't know about tags. They don't know about segmenting their audience. They don't know about these things. And to add the complexity of learning, let's say, another tool on top of what you're trying to accomplish just makes things harder. So it's not necessary. So start with Kajabi. It does a great job. But once you have gotten established and you are maybe wanting to do something else, that is when looking at third party tools may come into play. And in fact, let's see, share my screen really quick and hopefully this will make a little bit more sense. So here we have, this is the back end of my ActiveCampaign, and this is what we call an automation. In Kajabi, that would be a sequence, basically, deliver your emails over X amount of days, like day 0 is immediate, day 2, do this. And there's some other little things that you can do with it. Well, in ActiveCampaign, this is called an automation where I want to have an email go out over whatever time frame. But this particular one has some logic behind it. So I can have, if this condition, do that. And if it's this thing, do this, yes. And if not, do this. And then I can add tags. I can have something go to a particular place in my automation. I could send an email. I could subscribe to another automation or email sequence, as it's called. And so I have the ability to also do some things which you can't do in Kajabi as of this recording, which is like pause something. So you might say, well, why would you want to pause something? Well, let's say you're really anxious to get your product out, but you haven't really built your entire email sequence. Well, I can create maybe the first 2 emails, and then I could pause everybody, let's say at 1,000 days or something, so that I can add to it later on. And then when I've created some more emails, I can change that pause time frame to like 5 minutes, and then those other emails go on, and then I could repause it again if I want. And it just gives me a little bit more time and flexibility. Now, that's just one scenario, but that's like some of the things, just some of the things that I can do with ActiveCampaign. And one of the things I really like about ActiveCampaign is that I can move things around. This is probably really not a good example, but let's see if I move this over here. I can say, do I want to move this? Do I want to move everything underneath it or copy it? And so I'm just going to say, I just want to move that one thing, and it will move it over here. So it really gives me some flexibility when it comes to what I want to do with my, say, my email campaigns, and more importantly, the sequences or the Kajabi sequences on what I'm able to do. And this is just one example. So the other reason that I was talking about with Thrivecart was that Thrivecart gives me the ability, one, to have a more customized checkout card that's more compelling, and more what I think end users are looking to see when they go to checkout. They're looking for, is there like a money back guarantee? Are there some kind of testimonials? And right, not that Kajabi doesn't allow you to do it, but they make it a little bit harder. And there's definitely certain things you can't do on the, like, say, the right side or the left side. And it's just not as pretty as I would like it, and some different flexibility options. One of the biggest things for me at this moment was that you can't do a one-page checkout card. So like if you just had, let's say, I'm going to say a lower ticket item, anywhere from 27 to, or seven, even lower than that, let's say $7 or maybe up to $99. That's literally considered like a low ticket item that perhaps I want to just have it on one page, sort of the sales copy, what it is, and be able to put it on a credit card. Put it on the website right away. But you can't do that with Kajabi. It's an opt-in or a sales page, and then you go to the checkout page. You can't have your sales page and your checkout page be it as one. Now, there are other reasons why I use Thrivecart, or I'm really investigating using Thrivecart. Is because sometimes if you want to have weird payment options, you can't do that with Kajabi right now. So like if I want to have somebody, like the initial payment is $99, and then I want them to pay, like $2.99 for the next 2 to 3 months. You can't do that with Kajabi at this moment. And so there's some other little flexibility or capabilities, as well as your options for how it looks. So this is one that I have for Thrivecart. I'm testing it. And that's one of the things that I really like about this, is that I can disable this particular product, and then I can put it in test mode so that no matter what I'm doing with it, I can test it before obviously it goes live. And again, just what I was saying about pricing options. This is also something you can't do with Kajabi, is you have to have sort of an offer per pricing option, and they don't all show up on the page. They are shown individually. And so while this kind of translates to that, it's a little bit more work in Kajabi. And so, yes, I could have an order bump if I want, and I can customize that, whether it's digital or physical. But one of the things that I really like is the checkout, and that was probably the bigger thing. Do you want to have this standard checkout where, let me zoom in a little bit, where you have maybe your information that you would enter here, and then your typical, like here's the image and here's the testimonials and things like that? or you could have this sales cart option, which is, it's sort of that one page checkout, where you can have all your sales copy, and then wherever you want, you can have the checkout option on that one page. I really like that. Now, to use this with Kajabi, so let's say you're using the sales pages or the process, the pipelines in Kajabi, I can use this embed option, and it just shows up wherever you place it on the website. So with Kajabi is the same as the sales cart. And then the other one is sort of a pop-up, like buy now, it pops up, and then they fill in their information and they check out. So there's a lot more design capabilities with Thrivecart that I like. And then I integrate this because I am using ActiveCampaign. I can add my tags and things like that I need to. So like if this is purchased, what do I want to have happen? Do I want to add them, remove them? It'll come up with all my different tags that I have in Kajabi. If it is returned or it's abandoned, and this is a big thing, abandoned cart. And Kajabi kind of has that. I don't want to mislead anybody and say that they don't have the abandoned cart option, but I can customize what I'm actually sending. So with Kajabi's abandoned cart, it sort of sends this generic email about, hey, you abandoned the cart. You sure you don't, remember this, or you want to continue your purchase? But this allows me, because I was using ActiveCampaign, I can have a whole series of abandoned cart emails, or maybe I want to have a coupon or some kind of incentivize things to maybe increase my cart checkout. So recapturing that sort of lost sales process. So this is not necessarily something where people, maybe when they're just starting with Kajabi, because I highly, highly, highly stress starting out, understanding the features, understanding the process, understanding what you want to have happen. And then once you're beyond sort of that beginning Kickstarter phase, beyond the 0 to hero Kajabi stage, now that's when you want to look at, okay, how do I maybe maximize? How do I maybe scale my business? Those are going to be some of the things that you want to consider. And that's why, in a really short version of why I use some of the third-party apps. Now, having said that, those are just some of the questions that, I sort of answer in the Kajabi users group, but I'm having a live Q&A on Sunday. So please enter some questions. I will have the link. It should already be in there for joining me via Zoom with any kind of questions you may have. It can be, I always talk about Kajabi centered, but as you can see, I do talk about other things besides just Kajabi in the purest form. So let me know what you have any questions about, and if you have any comments about this video. Definitely on my YouTube channel, if you found this helpful, give me a thumbs up. I'm trying to grow my channel and provide more value to you. Otherwise, I will talk to you later. Bye.